we'll try that way and see if it's possible. Let me tell you, it is beautiful up here. My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. For this trip, we're in Utah.
This is the beginning of our backpacking adventure, and we are going off trail. We're in a beautiful place, and we cannot wait to get back into these canyons and see what awaits us.
Roughly 2 years ago, everyone, we came out to this general location. And since that point in time, we've been thinking about how we could go off trail in the desert. So after 2 years, we came up with a plan. Now, there are some big question marks with this trip. First off, we are following a wash up into the canyons. We looked at some satellite imagery, and unfortunately, you really can't tell much by looking at that. So I don't know if we can go 200 yards and it ends. Maybe we can go 2 miles. I don't know. I have no idea. This trip is all about adventure. We have no idea what's right around the corner. Together, we'll find out. For this trip, we do have an arch nemesis, and that is Bob, Big Orange Ball, aka the sun. Right now, it's chilly. During the day, it warms up and it gets rather hot. So we have to do all of our hiking basically in the morning and also in the afternoon. A few things to mention. First off, before we came out here, we checked the weather forecast, and we also got all of the weather data from the area for a 100-mile radius. There's no chance of rain, and no rain has fallen nearby. So we don't have to be concerned about hiking this wash, and even potentially camping in it. Washes are dangerous though. You definitely have to be careful, and camping in them, it's a gamble. All right. This really is incredible. We are surrounded by the most amazing mountains you've ever seen, and it looks like we're heading towards some incredible ones too. Because the sun is so fierce in this area, this region, we want to get all of our hiking done by noon. There's a saying, only donkeys and gringos hike in the noonday sun, and it's true. We want to get our hiking done really before it gets hot, hot, hot. I think I'll have to stop and take this jacket off. It's already getting warm. When we woke up this morning, 34 degrees. Now, 50, easy. Take a look at this backpack, everybody. The Osprey Unlimited. The most expensive civilian backpacking backpack ever made. Is it worth the money? No. No, it's not. I like it. It's really good, but it's not worth like $650. I think that's the price. That is simply too much money for a backpack. The company says they use every single technological advancement that they've come up with over the years, and they put it all in this backpack. I don't know, $650? To me, it doesn't make any sense. As it stands now, it looks like we're going to go up here, around the corner, and keep on going.
I think the theme of this trip is walk a few steps, stop and stare, because you're just in awe of the beauty that's around you. The mountains amaze me, but just walking through this canyon where the water comes down, I can't imagine how torrential it could be when it's pouring down this. And you can just see how the rocks are, the boulders. It's just an amazing place, and I'm really just in awe of it all. For this trip, I wanted to look my best, so I brought out my backpacking professional attire. But I think somehow I've ended up looking like I'm ready to go play golf. I assure you, there are no golf courses out here. It is what it is.
That breeze sure feels good. It's warming up. There's an awesome breeze. It looks like the canyon snakes. Hopefully we'll be able to continue hiking it. As far as the mileage goes for this trip, as we mentioned before, it really is up in the air. We may be able to go a couple of miles, a couple hundred yards, who knows. Come with me if you want to live.
I do. Wow, look at this.
Whoa.
Flat rock, and look, it's gonna snake again.
This is a good example of what you can find when you get away from people, from trails. Susie and I have this entire place to explore. No one's been out here. This is very much like a pick and choose adventure. There's an infinite possibility of ways to go about this. Oh man, this shade feels so good. Already, the sun is getting hot. The outside temperature has got to be in the 60s now. Hour after hour, that temp goes up, up, and up.
You can tell ahead that things are really coming in together. Everything's getting narrow, and it's no longer open like it was before on the trail. It's definitely going to make us start working for it. Up ahead, I can't even see a way to go. It looks like it does continue to snake, but we've got some stuff to get through.
Normally when it comes to these washes, it's like deadfalls that stop you, gigantic boulders that are blocking everything completely, or basically you come up against the wall. There'll be like a huge waterfall section that'll stop you. I've spoken about this before, about going off trail and how much I enjoy it. And I'm able to enjoy it because I know how to read a map, use a compass. I have good maps, that's super important. None of these skills are all that special really, and they're not complicated to obtain. You can likely take classes in your area to learn how to navigate. I highly recommend that you do so. You won't regret it. Susie wasn't joking about this place coming in on itself. It's getting narrow. Lots and lots of boulders. I say that, then it opens up a little bit. That's funny. It's teasing us now.
Yeah, one open spot.
It's open, and then it goes all to... Now I should mention, folks, we are being very careful. We're taking our time, not only for like falling, twisting ankles and stuff, but for venomous snakes. There are a handful of venomous snakes in this area.
As I'm walking along, I'm keeping an eye out for snakes and other critters, but I haven't seen anything.
Come on, everybody, let me give you a hand. I haven't mentioned it so far, but I'm dealing with an injury. A few weeks back, I injured the heel of my left foot. Yesterday, I could hardly walk. Today, doing pretty good. That was one of the mysteries for this trip. Was it going to give me some problems? I'm so glad today. I'm feeling good, folks. How are you doing, Susie?
I'm doing great.
No complaints?
No complaints. I think 5 days on the road helped your foot, you know, just giving it time to rest.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
There we go. Have you all noticed how flimsy these bottles have become? The other day I was opening one of these. I mean, the plastic is as thin as paper. I took the lid off and just by holding it, I squeezed it and it was like... I was very, very angry. Like, we got into the area yesterday. We actually parked at a couple of different locations and kind of scouted around. And we were looking for the right wash. There's a ton of washes in this area. And ultimately, this one really worked out the best. We had parking right at it. All the others we had to park someplace else and hike to. So far, so good with this one. I'm really, really impressed. Now here's some advice for you all. Anytime that you're walking a wash in a canyon like this, as you're hiking along, you need to be staring at the ground, of course, but you need to be staring at the walls as well. You need to keep in mind ways out. Unfortunately, with this trip so far, there's only one way out of this canyon, and it's back there. We have ways to get up, but not out. The walls here are so steep, there's overhangs. It's not possible. Not yet. Already, Susie, I'm really, really impressed with this wash. I mean, it's much longer than I thought it would be, to be honest.
It is.
I mean, we're miles in, and it just keeps on going. This is a mess. Which way will she go, folks? Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm seeing either, to be honest.
Around that bend, or is that our wall?
I don't know.
See?
Uh-huh. Remember how I mentioned previously that at times these washes end at waterfalls that you can't climb? we may have gotten to that point. I don't know, there's some rocks. Maybe we can climb it. Oh, maybe not. It's not looking good.
Oh no, that is definitely the end. I thought maybe it would keep going, but now that I've moved and I can see the other side of that wall, it does not.
This side is a no-go. The front side, that's a no-go. Maybe up here and around. I don't like the looks of this though. Mainly because that's wet. It looks muddy. Well, there's only one thing to do. Go try it out. I will try that way and see if it's possible. I don't think it is. I don't think there's enough of a lip up there. But I'll go find out for sure. Unfortunately, Susie, this is the end of the road.
Can't make it?
No, that's almost vertical right there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you slid, you wouldn't stop.
Yeah, it does look dangerous. It doesn't look like it's the best idea to even attempt.
No.
Definitely vertical right there.
There's just no way, unfortunately. That's okay though. We still have some pretty interesting options, Susie. I mean, we could backtrack a little bit. I mean, we'll never get up on top of this rock wall here, but we could go to the base of the mountain back down there and explore.
I was thinking if you can't go up and over something, you can try to go around it. So if we backtrack, there's a possibility that we could go on the other side. I would love to find a way up there, but it's not safe. It's too risky. The plan now is to backtrack, find a shady spot and have some lunch. We will probably rest some for the rest of the day while the sun is really hot and out, and then we will pick up hiking again later this afternoon.
It's important to remember what I said about hiking in the desert in the noonday sun. Already, it's pretty brutal, it's pretty intense. So we're going to backtrack a bit, find a shady spot, and hunker down until this afternoon. Folks, two things. One, it's become very windy. Two, it's very hot and the sun is fully out now. So I went ahead, put on some sun protection. We need to find some shelter, Susie. I have an idea, and I think you do too. I think you're thinking the same thing.
The plan is to head back down here to a big boulder and look for natural shade. Anytime you can utilize something natural out in nature, then you don't have to take the time to set up a tarp or anything.
This, my friends, is what we're thinking. Check out that boulder and look at all of that shade underneath it. I think that's going to work nicely. This is like a little piece of paradise out in the middle of the desert.
It is.
And this is going to be our home for the next couple of hours. There's nothing you could do. You can't go hiking out in the sun like this. Simply too hot. With the wind, it's deceptive. You actually begin to think like, hey, it's not that hot. But oh no, it's hot out here. Right now, easily in the 80s. And this desert's pulling every bit of moisture from you. It's kind of funny, we got here yesterday, and since that point in time, my eyes have been so bloodshot, so dry. You know, it's just pulling all the moisture out of your nose, out of your eyes. I'm not accustomed to it. It looks like I have the worst case of COVID red eyes of all time.
It is deceiving to be out here, and I'm fair-skinned, and I have to have sun protection. It burns you. It really feels like it's burning you if you just stand still in the sun. The rocks feel good. It's cool under here. We have a cool breeze.
It's nice.
Are you getting hungry?
Yes, how about you?
Yes.
You should dig that out of your pack.
So our food is pretty much made already because we like Packet Gourmet chicken salad, and they are freeze-dried meals that take cold water to make, and we figured out a long time ago that if you do that earlier in the day and just let it sit in your pack, it's perfect come lunchtime. So we already mixed in the water. All we have to do is add the mayonnaise, and we are ready to eat.
Ready to eat. When it comes to the wind, if you spend some time in the desert, you'll pick up on a pattern. At nighttime, the winds will be calm. During the day, the winds pick up. And that's because as the desert heats up, hot air rises, and that causes turbulence. So oftentimes you'll see it'll be really, really windy throughout the day. And as soon as the sun begins going down, the temperature moderates and begins dropping, the winds will decrease. It'll be interesting to see if that holds true tonight. Or this evening, I should say. I do hope the winds calm down, because it may not sound too bad right now because of the mic and the dead cat, but it is roaring. I mean, it's just whistling through the canyon here. As for the sun, everyone, we have right at 4 hours to chill underneath this rock. And the thing is, there's not much you can do about it. You could go hiking off, but you would just blow through so much moisture, so much hydration. Susie and I both have 3 liters of water with us for this trip.
And we need all of that for our coffee.
We don't have any to spare, folks. She has an addiction. I don't. Here's a fun fact. She drinks way more coffee than I do per day.
It seems like that, but have you all seen how many packs go into his cups? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, so I don't know. It's open for debate who drinks the most. Also, when I'm at home, I have a very small coffee cup, and his coffee cup at home is huge. So, you know, it's hard to say. I may fill mine up like 2 times, but we're talking about a giant one. Refill.
You're completely destroying my logic in front of my friends.
Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled.
My point just went out the window.
I cooked it, you stir it.
Okay. By the way, folks, if Susie and I couldn't find natural protection from the sun, we were going to set up a tarp. We knew that, of course, there's canyon walls, so we were going to utilize those in addition to our backpacks as anchors. So we would be able to set up a tarp, get sun protection. We knew that we would have to spend numerous hours basically hiding out. Luckily, we found this. This is incredible. I have stirred this up to perfection. And since I'm a provider, I provide, ladies.
Thank you.
As I bust my head. There went that coolity moment. That was good. When I was a kid, there was a show on TV that I absolutely loved. It involved like this helicopter that could like transform somewhat. It had like guns that would pop out on the sides and like rockets down on the bottom. And it had this awesome theme song. You may remember that show as Airwolf. You may be wondering, Luke, why do you bring this up? Who cares? Well, I bring it up because Airwolf was filmed out here in this desert. How about that? The cavern where the helicopter rises from, that was filmed nearby.
That is really cool.
It is really cool. I'd love to go out there. I'm not exactly sure where it's at. I'm sure you could look it up, but just being in the same place is good enough for me.
Very cool.
Did you ever watch Airwolf?
No, I never did.
She was missing out, wasn't she?
What channel did it come on?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. In regards to my foot, what I've done, I've torn some ligaments in the bottom here, right at the heel. And man, that hurts. It's one of those things where usually I can massage it, it feels better, but then the pain just comes right back. But as of right now, doing okay. Susie's out exploring, she's hiking the hill up here. When the sun begins to go down, that's when Susie and I will look for a campsite tonight. As far as I could tell, right now, we have two options. Up there, down here. Up there on the hill, in between these gigantic rock formations, it looks to me like it's rather flat. It looks promising. Actually, it looks freaking awesome. The only thing is, if it's windy here, it's roaring up there. So we'll have to just go check it out and make a call. Cheers, Susie.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. It's coffee time. About an hour's passed since lunch. We've just been kicking back. Susie went up exploring the hills here. Did you find anything?
I did not find anything. The best way to describe these mountains are layers. There is just layers upon layers of rock and even like layers of mountains. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna go up to the top and see what I see. But you get up there and there's another mountain to get over before you can really see anything. So
talking about the different layers, you may see a white layer that looks like snow. It's salt. It's interesting. If you look at it, there's like a layer of like rock, salt, different colored rocks, more dirt, then another layer of salt. It'd be interesting to understand like the geology behind it. You can even see up on the mountain there's like more layers of salt in between like rock and dirt and whatnot. All right, everyone, it is time for an update. As you can see, Susie and I were geared up. We're ready to rock and roll. As it stands right now, it's about 5 o'clock. The sun is still out. It's still breezy. It's not super windy, which is nice. But yeah, the potency of the sun is definitely lessened. So Susie and I, we feel like it's ready to head up on top of this mountain. We're gonna go up there, look for a campsite, see what we can find.
we will be zigzagging up this side of the mountain and trying to get to the top.
We have gone up and down this wash, and we have found one good clear way up. So hopefully it pans out. Susie, let's rock and roll.
Let's do it.
This is very steep. It likely doesn't show, but it is. To give you all a point of reference, this is the wash that we hiked. This is looking pretty great, folks. So we have a nice campsite right here, actually, that we can make. It's very flat.
We have our tent set up, and this is such an epic spot. I cannot believe we're camping up here. All around us we have amazing views, 360 degrees everywhere you look. It's amazing. We have hiked as far back into the canyon that we possibly could. The thing is there are so many mountains, and you think you can get up and over them or around them, but that's not really the reality. So we've come back as far as we've come. We found this epic camping spot. I say let's call it a day. I'm happy here. It's just amazing.
We've made it up on top of this shelf, and Susie's right. This is as high as we can go. There is no going any further. It's still breezy, but not super windy, which is nice. There's enough of a breeze to kind of cut down the heat just a little bit, but it's still pretty warm. That's why I got this full getup on. But in about 30 minutes, oh yeah, it'll be perfect. While Susie's inside of the tent resting, I decided to hike up here on top of this hill so I could see our campsite. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's just something else. The view is so good up here that I'm going to go back, get Susie. I think we should have our dinner up here. Susie, what do you think of that view?
Amazing. It's even better up here.
Susie and I, we've been sitting up here just staring out. The view is phenomenal. And finally it's cooling down.
It is. It's getting chilly.
Mm-hmm.
It's very easy to sit here and just get lost in the view and soak it in.
The weather for this trip has been absolutely perfect for us. I mean, we were driving through Oklahoma, had no issues, great weather. The places that we were, basically after we left, got hit by a large tornado. I guess there was quite a bit of damage, maybe some fatalities too.
In New Mexico, we had a very cold night, but the next day it was supposed to snow, and we had already left. So it's like we just have good timing or something. Everything's working out right.
Everything's just working out so perfectly. I believe in a few days it's supposed to rain here, I think, which is a nightmare. Like, this red dirt turns to pure mud. You can't hike in it. Like, it's impassable. It's just awful. Yeah, so far, this trip really has been fantastic. This backpacking trip has to be right up there with some of my favorite ever. Just off trail, you know, hiking the washes. You don't know it's around the corner. Epic campsite, just incredible views. I mean, it's just something else, man. And ladies.
I agree. This was a choose your own adventure type of trip, and it's delivered. It's been amazing.
When we were thinking about doing this trip, the only idea that we had was like, okay, let's go back to the Valley of the Gods because there's so much more to explore, and let's pick a wash and let's hike it. I mean, there's washes. There's probably 1,000 washes out here. I don't know, but this has really worked out well.
The first time we came through this area, it was more or less passing through because we had already come to the surrounding areas and we had already done a backpacking trip. So it was more or less, we're here, I want to see it, let's pass through, and then we had to leave. So to be able to come back and take time and explore and backpack, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. It's just amazing that everything worked out. Everything as far as the weather, the conditions, the timing. Couldn't have asked for anything better.
No, not at all. This is a real Termat meal. What's kind of funny about this is the pulled pork one. It kind of tastes like pizza. Or at least that's my experiences with it. It tastes like pizza. Let's see what Susie thinks.
It smells like pizza.
Something about it. I don't know. It smells like pizza.
I'm excited because I smell pizza, so I'm digging in.
Looks like pizza.
Looks like maybe a Mexican pizza? I don't know. Fantastic.
Pizza though.
Yeah. Folks, we're going to eat. Enjoy this last bit of light. We'll see you all back at the tent. We haven't been sleeping, I promise. I may have dozed for like, I don't know, 20 minutes.
I'm tired. I'm ready for bed.
Yeah, folks, it's about 9:30 or so. I think we're done for the day.
Definitely done.
Yeah, that heat has zapped all of my strength. I'm tired.
Me too. Hiking in the sun, going uphill, climbing up mountains. I am ready for sleep.
I think we're going to sleep good tonight. As far as the winds go, listen. Nice and peaceful. Yeah, it's going to be a good night. I have the stove ready to go, so like in the morning, I could just open up the fly here, the vestibule, and get coffee going. We'll have coffee inside of the tent in the morning. And then we'll beat feet out of here, and we'll drive off to who knows where. We'll figure that out tomorrow. But everyone, good night for now. See you in the morning.
Good night.
Good morning, Susie.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. It is about 6:30. The sun is coming up. It's gonna go from being like lovely and beautiful to like flat out hot in a few minutes. I think we should enjoy our coffee and pack up. What do you think?
Time to get ready and bounce off the top of this mountain.
Mm-hmm.
We got so lucky last night with absolutely no wind.
It was nice.
They calmed down. It was a silent night up here.
The only thing I heard last night was some owls. Did you hear the owls hooting?
No,
Mm-hmm. That's it.
I missed those.
It was a nice night. Talk about an incredible place to camp. How red are my eyes this morning? How red are they?
Not bad.
Not bad?
Not bad.
Okay. They're so dry. This environment. I have like a head full of like blood and like dry eyes. It's funny.
You know what I was thinking? I was like, this tent did great on condensation. 0. 0.
None.
But we're in the desert.
Yeah, this tent did a good job, actually. Yeah, this is from 3FUL. My only concern is strong winds. During some of the stronger gusts yesterday, the side of the tent I noticed was coming in pretty good. There's no skyline points, one here, and there's not one over here either. And that's what you need, right? You need to have a guideline point to pull those walls out so when the winds are strong, it doesn't cave in. I can't believe they missed that, to be honest. Like, they've gotten everything else right except that. Well, so far with our testing anyways. Bob is up, big orange ball. And already the inversion process is taking place. As soon as the sun came up, there's a movement of cold air and hot air. Later on today, it's going to feel great. Right now, it's actually pretty cold. When it comes to the Osprey Unlimited pack, I like it fine, and that's the problem. With it being the most expensive backpack ever made, it should be better than just fine. You know what I mean? It carries well. It does everything well enough. But that pack is massive. The Unlimited is gigantic. I feel like I'm carrying, I don't know, luggage on me. That's my quick review for this episode. As it stands now, we're packing everything up. We're almost ready to go. We're about to head down into the wash. The sun's coming up. I have a feeling it's going to be a good day.
I am finishing up the last of my coffee before we finish packing up and heading off of the mountain. The funny thing about this place is I don't think we can exactly retrace our steps. Even when we hiked all the way to the end of the wash and we turned around and we were coming back, I felt like we were still choosing different paths to come back down. And I think that's going to be the case this morning, is like we're just going to have to pick and choose and find the best place to get off of the mountain and get back into the wash. I will need to dig my hat out of my backpack, but for now the sun feels so good. Just warming up. Feels really good.
All geared up, ready to go. Susie, are you ready?
I am ready.
Oh yeah. The Valley of the Gods has been good to us. What an incredible place to be. And just like that, the adventure is coming to an end. With a little bit of skill, some know-how, you can get away from the crowds, away from the people, and you can experience complete and total solitude. The Valley of the Gods has been good to us, and now it's time to go on another adventure. Thank you all for watching this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. Make sure to hit the like button, it helps a lot.
I have loved every minute of this trip. Thanks for joining us.
Make sure to stay tuned to the next part of the 2023 road trip. Strength and honor, folks. Bye for now.
Dreams are not the same for me. Standing by the shore while you're on the open sea. Cannot take this anymore. The dreams are not the same for me. Standing by the shore while you're on the open sea. Cannot take this anymore. A certain shade of blue, but always remind me of you. Trying to figure out how I'm supposed to get through. The dreams are not the same for me. Standing by the shore while you're on the open sea. Cannot take this anymore. The dreams are not the same for me. Standing by the shore while you're on the open sea. Cannot take this I'll take this